Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. It's Nikisha and we are continuing going through the 48 Laws of Power by Robert Greene because I am here for you. I want to make sure that you're not being manipulated. I want to make sure that you're not being taken advantage of. And I want to also make sure that you're not messing with the wrong person because law number 19 is talking about know who you are dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. So let's get into this. There are so many different kinds of people in the world. You can never assume that everyone will react to your strategies in the same way. Deceive or outmaneuver some people and they will spend the rest of their lives seeking revenge. They are wolves in lamb's clothing. Choose your victims and opponents carefully. Then never offend or deceive the wrong person. You know what this reminds me of? Liam Neeson in Taken. They took the wrong daughter, didn't they? He spent the rest of his life trying to find them, and he did. He murked that whole family, so let's go ahead and get into this. So this one's a little bit different because we're not going through different keys to power. We're going to be focusing on the different types of people that you don't want to mess around because you might around and find out. All right, let's get into it. So in your rise to power, you will come across many breeds of opponent, sucker, and victims. The highest form of the art of power is the ability to distinguish the wolves from the lambs, the foxes from the hares, the hawks from the vultures. If you make this distinction well, you will succeed without needing to coerce anyone too much. All right, so the first one that they talk about is the arrogant and proud man. So it tells this story about Genghis Khan, and I'm not familiar with his whole story, but basically Genghis Khan was a new tribal leader in the East, and he was sending out gifts to Muhammad from the Mongol Empire. So he's sending over these gifts and Muhammad's like, you're beneath me. I don't, forget it. He keeps sending back his gifts. He keeps killing the people that he sends over there. And then Genghis Khan, he just got over it and he just killed the whole dynasty and just took over. And he did it all because of that. And it says here, some men are slow to take offense, which may make you misjudge the thickness of their skin and fail to worry about insulting them. But should you offend their honor and their pride, they will overwhelm you with violence that seems sudden and extreme given their slowness to anger. Never reject them with an insult until you know them better. You may be dealing with the Genghis Khan. So what does that mean? People who are really proud, if you deceive them, if you lie to them, they might make it a point to make an example out of you. And so you just have to know that sometimes the juice isn't worth the squeeze. So you want to move on. So we're moving on from the arrogant and proud man. The next one is the hopelessly insecure man. So it's the same as the proud man, but his ego is more fragile. So he's a little bit more insecure. He feels himself deceived or attacked. His hurt will simmer. That made me think of the Will Smith slap when he slapped Chris Rock. Like that just came out of nowhere. Like even if you were really mad, first of all, you're at somebody's job. Like that's embarrassing. Like why are you slapping people at a job? That's first of all. And then second of all, what prompted this? Like I didn't see anything that he said that was worth like going up to somebody at their job and slapping them in the face. But maybe he's the hopelessly insecure man. So that had been simmering and bubbling and just waiting to come out. And then he finally saw his moment and he decided to take it. I hope it was worth it, but he did get kicked out of the academy, so was it though? I don't know. You decide. Leave it in the comments. The next one is Mr. Suspicious. He's always waiting for you to do it, so don't even bother because he was looking for you to do it. So it says that, hold on, let me see. It doesn't really have any examples. It just says that another variant, he just imagines everybody's already after him. So I don't really know the point of that one, but okay. Anyway, so that's him. He's always looking at it. I don't really have anything for that one. It's kind of dumb, but okay. We're just going to keep going because some of these are like this chapter in and of itself. I'm not really sure. Basically, it's just these are the people that you're not supposed to mess with. The serpent with the long memory. So this is very Scorpio because it says that, let me see. A man who has little importance by means today can be a person of power tomorrow. We forget a lot in our lives, but we rarely forget an insult. So there's some people that you might offend today that maybe tomorrow they might be making decisions for you. And so there's some people who have a long memory. You might hurt them and then they might just be sitting there just waiting, biding their time, waiting for an opportunity to get you back. So you got to be careful with people like that. I could be people like that, but I'm just saying, I'm just saying. Anyways, last, the plain and unassuming and often unintelligent man. So falling for the ruse often takes intelligence and imagination and a sense of possible rewards. The blunt man will not take the bait because he does not recognize it. So he's just unaware that you're playing a game on him. He just doesn't even care. And so they talked about a story about Henry Ford and these art collectors. They wanted to get him to buy this big art collection. And so they made this fabulous book, like a really thick book of all the art with all this information next to it. And Henry Ford was like, why would I pay for all of that art when you made this fabulous book for me? Thanks. I appreciate it. So they were trying to get him and convince him that he needed this art. It was the most important thing. He's like, no, I needed a book of all this art. That was the most important thing. So he didn't even get the joke. So those are the 5 people that it says you don't want to mess with when it comes to dealing with power games, because in conclusion, it says, the ability to measure people and to know who you're dealing with is the most important skill of all in gathering and conserving power. Without it, you are blind. Not only will you offend the wrong people, you will choose the wrong types of people to work on, and you will think you are flattering people when you are actually insulting them. Before embarking on any move, take measure of your mark and potential opponent. So this chapter has been all over the place. In conclusion, here's my final thoughts. In conclusion, know who you're dealing with. That's the main thing. I don't know if all of these particular examples that they're using are the ones that you should point out. It has a couple of different ideas about how you can figure out whether or not these are these type of people. But overall, I think you should just know who you're dealing with. I personally believe that power games are things to know, not necessarily things to play. I think you should have a plan and you should know what you want. And then if you're not getting it, you should know when to walk away. That's Nikisha Bond's approach. But if you are going to be in the game of power, I want to make sure that you have some tools too. So here's some people that you want to make sure that you avoid, because they might not take to your power games the way that you were hoping them to. But that's what I think. That's what I got out of this law. What law are we on? Hold on. Law number 19. Know who you're dealing with. Do not offend the wrong person. But what did you get? Did you feel like these examples resonated with you? Do you have examples of your own? Whatever it is, go ahead and leave it in the comments, and make sure that you make sure that you subscribe, and make sure that you share this with a friend, because everybody wants to be empowered and nobody wants to look around and find out. See you guys next time. Bye.